lineups here, pretty much very similar besides Sparky on the Winston.
Yeah, and they're playing this nice little mobile comp, but right now they're being focused underneath the bridge, and that's not getting a lot of damage done, except Wuvo gets that first pick onto Elim, opening up this fight for Ancient Templar.
That body grenade from Saphira has landed on a lot of members, which has helped Ancient Templar get several picks here. The Project just getting a double there to finish off the fight. Money's mech's going to be popped, and it's all about just chasing down the rest of the kills of Tempo and getting them to reset. So that body grenade, man, that was a very beautiful one.
Yeah, big body grenade. When you're able to just look straight down and throw something like that onto the entire lineup running underneath you, Wuvo's then able to focus down Elim, which is a really important pick, which allows them not to have the bio grenade on the rest of their players who are going a little bit muck amongst them, but they do have Project there to purge it off with his projected barrier, so not too worried about it early on. But underneath this play, I've seen Tempo do this before, and it's quite interesting to see that they like to play underneath the typical spots that you normally see people try to push this map.
Tempo going to go through the higher ground on the opposite side of the catwalk, forcing down Sparky's Winston. The body grenade does land from Saphira again on a lot of members. Tails is quite low. He's able to hide behind the defense matrix, courtesy of Money, as they're going to go through the top side. All 6 members of Tempo going through the catwalk. So we're either going to see the engage here happening at the top, or they're going to force down members of Ancient Templar, and a couple of them have been spread here so they can take out Flake if need be. He's kind of swallowed whole here. Sparky and Wuvo, though, do get a couple of members each here from Tempo Storm, as Money gets one back on top of Saphira. And the charge is going to come from Mosh on top of Spoons. He's kept alive nicely with the Zarya shield. Self-destruct's going to be thrown up here from Money. Not going to get any kills. Wuvo gets a double kill here, who's popped the tactical visor here to get all the stragglers. I think he probably could have saved that one, Doctor, because I felt the fight was already won.
Yeah, the fight probably would have definitely won at that point, especially since Money was like one of the last 2 people alive there. It's not really worth. Spoon's getting hooked there. Hopefully he can get out, because if he gets caught right now, he'll lose that mech. Really good ult in that last fight by Sparky, especially that Winston Primal Raid. He's able to push a lot of those players that were just going for that high ground aggression. It's a really smart play to run through those halls area, come out the top, and just it really throws off that defending team. But then Sparky brings out that ult, locks a lot of their players off, and then actually chases down Termo and pushes him off the map near towards the spawn. So that gives them a 2-player advantage in the end with the picks that are made. And then from there, just Wuvo surviving that D with a self-destruct as well done.
And even with that, they still have the ult advantage here, Ancient Templar, and they've got the Graviton Surge from Project and a couple of members, and Sparky's there to combo up, and 3 members from Tempo have already fallen, so that's already their push being delayed. But one thing to take away from that fight for Tempo, they didn't use any ultimates, and now you can see 5 ultimates on the side of Tempo Storm.
Yeah, big ultimate advantage, you believe, for Tempo Storm. One interesting thing of that last fight is it was a big bio grenade mostly from Saphira that won them that fight, especially since Spoons' ultimate was just a little bit too high. It actually hit the wall above where they were in that Graviton Surge, and the shield was facing the other way. That could have got a lot more players, but it was just a fraction too high to do any damage to them.
They're going to go straight through main here, with a couple of members being delayed from the top side, which will be Soldier 76 and the Arno for Tempo Storm. Is their sound barrier has been popped by Ancient Templar, but they've been slammed down by Mosh's Earth Shatter. As you can see, the tactical visor being popped from Tails with the nano boost. He's managed to get some damage down on people, but they still got to deal with the primal rage from Sparky, who's slapping people off the high point. The cap is coming up from Tempo Storm, and they're at 2/3. Only Spoons and Sparky are left on top of the checkpoint. And Saphira tried to jump in there. He's been taken out. Project has been taken out as well. It's only Sparky remaining. Can anyone get back in time with Wuvo? He's going to hit the tactical visor. He's not going to get any kills. Mosh had that shield in his face. Flake can't get there in time. And that's the cap coming out for Tempo Storm with 4 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, a bit of a waste of tactical visor out for Wuvo. If Sparky was still alive on 4 HP, that could have made something out of that. But since that point was so far gone, and he was the only person alive at the end of that fight, Sparky did jump off the map as that Winston, but was able to jump back up with that decreased cooldown, so good job just making it back to that point. Spoons and Sparky able to get a little bit of delay off, but in the end, because Wuvo was a little bit late to that fight, it was a bit of a waste in the end to use that tactical visor.
Hearts moved up just towards the boss, as a lot of the members are going to move forward from Ancient Templar, but need to be careful. There's a self-destruct in the back line, but good job for Ancient Templar to move forward and avoid that self-destruct, but the fight's going to be quite sporadic now near the cart. People need to start re-rallying and grouping together for Ancient Templar, because Termo's in the backside and he's already taken out Spoon, so they're down to tank here. Ancient Templar need to get on the back foot, and the cart's going to keep rolling on for Tempo Storm now.
Yeah, a bit of a nice and early engagement out of Ancient Templar. Unfortunately, unable to get any picks, so that Ancient Tempo Storm throwing that Diva ultimate out really just throws off that engagement that they really wanted to get off, that solid engagement. They want to build the ultimates, maybe get 1 or 2 picks, because they're not really going to win that fight, especially with the amount of ultimates that were on Tempo Storm's side. But taking it so early, they are hopefully going to be able to regroup in time to contest this payload again.
The members are starting to regroup and regather, but it's very close to being capped, as we can see the camera's so quite far away. His Spoons, he's already down to self-destruct, he is back in time, but Tails is on the top side on the catwalk with the Nano Boost Tactical Visor combination. He has the Defense Matrix blocking him, but that's not going to make too much of a difference. He's already picked up a triple kill. It's just a couple of tanks remaining now of Ancient Templar who are going to start going down one by one.
Yeah, just a little bit of delay out of Ancient Templar, unable to get anything again with another early engagement. They take that fight first, but just don't get anything. Sparky getting booped there as he went for that charge, unfortunately unable to connect. And then Mosh going for a charge through the middle of Ancient Templar and picking out Wuvo. Losing that soldier DPS early on in that fight meant they were able to just turn around and consolidate with Tails on that high ground, just freely able to get that tactical visor boost off, just uncontested, not having to worry about anybody there at the end.
Well, here comes the tactical visor from Wuvo with a nano boost. He can't get through Mosh's shield though. Money takes out Sparky as well, so still a good fight for Tempo Storm, and Wuvo gets a bit too close to the action. He ends up getting taken out. Saphira does get one kill back, but it's most of the kills going in Tempo Storm's favor now with Spoons on the back foot. He has to thrust away in the mech. He's been caught down by Turmo here. I can't get the camera there just in time. He's popped the mech of Spoons, so the spawn bleed's going to come out a little bit earlier than they wanted to, Ancient Templar.
Yeah, they went for a little bit of engagement there with Sparky going for a charge in there. He went a little bit too far. He didn't charge to a close wall, which got him caught out in that fight.
Here comes the self-destruct. The self-destruct and the Earth Shatter. Graviton Surge on the point as well. So a lot of ultimates been used by both teams here. The Earth Shatter's going to come out from Sparky, but he's going to have his life taken away pretty quickly here. A lot of Tempo Storm members still on top of the cart. Wuvo is a bit caught out there. He's a bit too far away from the rest of his team. Sound barrier popped here for Tempo Storm as the Nanobus is on top of Mosh, keeping a lot of people off the cart. It's just Flake. He's done a good job to sneak behind Mosh. He can't see him. He does get the boop off. Zaya's shield to keep him alive. So they need to take out Flake here, Tempo Storm. Otherwise, the delay is just going to continue for them. And the Earth Shatter does come out from Mosh. He slams down two members. Just Sparky remaining with a nano boost. And Wuvo in the back line. Bio grenade lands on him. He has to dash back away. He's quite low. But that delay from Flake is giving Ancient Templar enough time to get back on top of the cart.
Yeah, they're just able to get enough players back, but Money gets a triple kill with that self-destruct. This just feels like a little bit of a better spawn. He's just helping Ancient Templar a little bit here. But right now, just with that ultimate, getting 3 of their players is going to allow them to finally push through at the end. One big factor was Tails was uncontested for a huge amount of time. He did get slept during his nano boost tactical visor, so that didn't get anything off. But from there, Ancient Templar completely ignored him from there. So a bit unfortunate there that they all got shot in the back there, so even that boosted Reinhardt of Sparky didn't get him enough from it.
Money coming through in the end. He wasn't as successful on the first checkpoint because you saw Tempo were struggling and they managed to cap it within the last minute. But with that being said, from the second checkpoint onwards, Doctor, it was pretty much all Tempo Storm.
Yeah, Tempo Storm really had that momentum after they got that first checkpoint. We saw Ancient Templar, they had a reasonable defense early on. They dealt with that underneath push. They got caught out last time they actually scrimmed Tempo Storm. So that was a good adaptation, but from there, once Tempo Storm really took that high ground advantage and then just had a really big ultimate advantage, they were using their ultimates extremely efficiently, where we saw some wasted ultimates here and there from Ancient Templar. And from there, that momentum of ultimate usage is able to just carry through that Streets phase of Numbani, and then finally onto that final point where just a bit of overextension from Ancient Templar. They played nice and aggressive, but they went too far away from their main objective.
So similar setup here for Tempo Storm as what we saw from Ancient Templar's defense. They've got Turbo on Zaya and Mosh on Winston.
Yeah, pretty standard comp here. You run just that really mobile and defensive lineup here. There's not really anywhere you want to group up behind a Reinhardt. So you just grab Mosh, put him on this Winston, you have Turmo on the Zaya, he's able to bubble Mosh when he jumps in, or Money, either one of those mobile tanks. And what they're going to do is they're going to find out where Ancient Templar dive and then just dive on the back of them. They're going to counter dive with that lineup, or they'll go straight onto the back line of Ancient Templar, depending on where they are.
A couple of seconds tick down. Wuvo's going to be on his beloved Genji, so quite a dive-heavy comp here with Sparky on the Winston and Wuvo on the Genji here.
Yeah, then we're looking to dive the same target really early on. They just got to make sure they're on the same player and then let Spoons have a little bit of rain on this low ground.
So the main is going to be the first point of entry for Ancient Templar with Sparky jumping up here on the catwalk. A lot of the members are backing him up here, and Wuvo takes out a limb before taking out himself. So I don't know how he managed that one. I think he might have, did he land off the edge or something? I don't know how he killed himself there.
I'm not sure what happened there, really, that managed to kill himself. It's a bit interesting, but it looks like Ancient Templar are coming ahead, especially since taking out Elim has been a huge thing in this fight, and Saphira has been able to survive and just keep the entire line of Ancient Templar nice and chalked up on HP.
Ref's having a bit of a snooze there on the main entry point as well, and he has to deal with Wubo, who's right in his face. Money is forced off the checkpoint. He's on the catwalk. They're going to let this one go because a lot of the members aren't pushing forward for Tempo Storm, and they're just kind of hanging around the main road unless all the members group together here for one last push, which will be Money entering the checkpoint first with the help of Azalia's shield. But a lot of them being kept at bay here, with the whole hog from Spoons is denied a lot of Tempo Storm members from getting on top of the point, but they've done quite well with a limb keeping people alive. Flake has the Bodic Grenade landed on him, so they may get a support kill here. Mosh has the Primal Rage to help push people off, but Project got a double kill here for himself. Nano Boost is on top of Sparky, so the kill's going back in favor of Ancient Templar, who're going to come out with the cap, and that's going to be 6 minutes and 33 seconds on the clock. A lot of time to play for them.
Solid first push there. They don't get it cleanly, but they're able to pretty much get it off the extension of that first push. We was able to come back on that Genji, do a lot of damage when he arrives back. Now Ultimate's ready to go, but they did use that nano boost on Sparky there while he was the Winston. Not sure of the value of that. They probably wanted to hold that ready up to go in this next fight, where we was going to want to use this Dragon Blade to keep this momentum. That's a really important factor for them right now. They need to use their ultimates efficiently and early so that Tempo Storm don't get that momentum back in their favor.
Weaver's looking to get in the back line here. So they're going to use that self-destruct to help out with the spread people from the Tempo Storm defense, with Weaver hitting the Dragon Blade. He has to deal with the limb though. He takes him out. Flake tacks out Mosh. There's no Ana, no Lucio, no Reinhardt for Tempo Storm, with Money throwing down a self-destruct. Not going to pick up any kills though, as Sparky get his shield up in time. So that's some ultimates down for Tempo, and they're on the back foot already.
Yeah, that ultimate there of Money not really getting any delay off and ended up dying himself there. But right now, Ancient Templar don't have any ultimates, but they are getting quite close to Sparky's ultimate on this Reinhardt. This is a really important factor for them. They just need to keep him off just this point, just in time.
And then Spoons almost...
They made it.
I was going to say, Spoons almost got his life taken away. His Wuvo is quite low as well. He gets to deflect off just in time. Flake finishes off Turbo, but Tails finished off Wuvo as well, so a couple of kills going for each side here, but Sparky lands off that Earth Shatter. Lim is going to be taken out, so this should be the fight going towards Tempo Storm, with Spoons finishing everything off with the whole hog to push people off the cart, and that's 7 minutes, Doctor, on the clock for Ancient Templar.
Yeah, nice big amount of time bank here. It's another extended fight that did eventually go in the favor of Ancient Templar. They're baiting enough ultimates out of Tempo Storm here just to keep this rolling on, but they really need to get Wuvo's Dragon Blade up really quickly here, or they're going to have to look to swap off this. Right now, really good Earth Shatter from Sparky on that previous point. It lands on their backline. Not having to worry about Mosh and Sparky. Spoons does a great job to hook him out.
The rest of the fight's happening over here. I'm trying to get the camera sorted for you guys. As the Earth Shatter's going to come out for Mosh, and he kills Sparky pretty early on. His Project's going to be put to sleep. He's awoken, but that's an easy defensive hold there for Tempo Storm off the back of that Earth Shatter.
Yeah, bit of an interesting play of Ancient Templar to push through that little, I'm not sure what it is, like a lobby sort of area on that final point. Not a lot of teams really like to engage in there because it is a really tight choke point, and they really got caught out by that because Sparky got pretty much killed almost immediately from Mosh's charge as they follow up to take him out. Now, Ancient Templar coming back in, they really need to keep Sparky alive and use this Dragon Blade efficiently. Find
themselves inside of Termo's Graviton Surge with a self-destruct over the top from Money, gets a double kill, and there's a Nano Boost on top of Tails as well, who used the Tactical Visor. That's a lot of ultimates being used here for Tempo Storm on the defense.
Yeah, that was a huge amount of ultimates there used by Tempo Storm. The self-destruct, Graviton Surge, and the combo of the Nano Boost Tactical Visor. The only thing they're really getting close to here is Mosh's an offensive ultimate of the Earth Shatter here is 74%. But Ancient Templar, they're about to have 5 ultimates up. They can just initiate with this Dragon Blade. As long as Weaver doesn't die, it takes a huge amount of damage early on as they try and push in.
Got to deal with that Sound Barrier and Earth Shatter, but that's 5 ultimates here for Ancient Templar, who baited out a lot of ultimates from Tempo Storm just in the previous fight. Nano Boost is on top of Wubo, who's gone through Museum, and he's picked up the kill on top of Revs. Self-destruct here for Project to stop people getting from near the cart. He is going to catch a limb trying to get away from the blast, so it's going to cost him his life. And here we go, it's going to be a close battle here from the spawn point with 5 minutes left on the clock.
Ancient Templar though just did the complete reverse. They used everything they had there, but Spoon's able to pick up refs here, which is really important in this next fight. They need to use their ultimates quickly here and hold this fight out and keep Sparky alive.
Whole hog coming out for Spoons, but he gets slammed down by an Earth Shatter, and that's going to allow Tempo Storm to get back in control of the cart here in defense, which is much needed because this is going to be a big hold coming up from them with 4 minutes and 48 seconds left.
Yeah, that was a big Earth Shatter and a really big Bio Grenade landed by Ellen. He lands on a lot of the players there right before the Earth Shatter lands. Then from there, the players just commit together. Spiky was alive. He did have that shield up, but he was so low from that Bio Grenade, he had barely anything left. He just charges in, swings his hammer a few times, hoping to build up a little bit of ult charge.
They found themselves in a difficult position here, Tempo Storm, losing the first and second point here on Numbani back-to-back quite quickly. They've done a good job, though, so far on the third hold. They've still got life left in them with 4 minutes left. The cart's pushing pretty quickly, but Money just got there just in time to stop it as Tails and Wuvo, the Soldier 76 is getting 1 kill each. The Tactical Visor is on top of Tails, who has a nano boost on top of him. He's trying to get in the back line. He has a lot of shields to work through, though. He's trying to get down Project's life first, but Tails is going to find himself quite low. So everyone from Ancient Templar, they're going to get inside that Graviton Surge from Termo. Sparky tries to charge out, but it's going to cost him his life. Project's just remaining. They're going to pop his mech, so the defense is going to continue here for Tempo Storm.
Yeah, forcing a lot of ultimates out there. Wuvo chased down Tails there, got him extremely low, but didn't finish off the kill, and then got slept by Alien with a really good sleep dart. Really late pick as Tails goes really aggressive and gets to put himself out here. If they can push in quickly, it's unlikely that we've come far enough right now, but there's a big ultimate advantage right now in Ancient Templar's favor. They really need to get a really good Earth Shatter off, particularly.
Mosh is pulling back to his team. The Earth Shatter, the Self-Destruct's going to come out from Project. It's not going to pick up any kills, though. The Sephira does get one back on Mosh, and Wuvo with the Tactical Visor Nano Boost combination as I accidentally go onto the wrong Soldier 76 on your screen. Butchered that one for all the viewers there, Doctor, but that's Wuvo getting a lot of kills.
Wuvo's got a long way, but doesn't get really a huge amount off here, and Money's able to keep sitting on this payload right now, and it feels like Wuvo isn't getting enough on this Soldier, and he's running extremely aggressive around amongst the lineup of Tempo Storm and gets picked off.
Off the back of that Wuvo Nano Boost Tactical Visor, I thought that would have been Ancient Templar finishing off the map, but they've done a good job here, Tempo Storm, to come back in defense.
Yeah, and now the ultimates are back in their favor once again. Ancient Templar did commit a huge amount to that fight, but split themselves up and were all over the place. Sparky went for a charge onto a player onto the right-hand side near that small hill pack, doesn't collect him, and gets himself killed while he puts that Ursha down and isn't able to follow up. An Ursha that only landed on refs there.
This is a little bit of deja vu, but we saw Ancient Templar with the 5 ults on their side, but now it's Tempo Storm in defense with the 5 ults with 2 minutes and 23 seconds left. But Sparky's going to charge very deep here into Mosh. He's going to find himself away from the rest of the fight, which is happening right in front of the cart with Mosh and Money and Tails all picking up kills each. So it's still looking good for Tempo Storm, who uses Mosh's Earth Shatter to finish the fight.
Yeah, not sure if that Earth Shatter was really needed at the end there, and maybe just wanting to secure that fight out. It did mean that they ended up using 2 ultimates in that fight, where it pretty much that Graviton Surge by itself, holding back Project and I think it was Sephira in that Graviton Surge, both of those players going down in it to Termo. So getting caught out there at the end by that grab. Still though, still all the way in their favor right now with ultimate advantage, well and truly in Tempo Storm's favor.
Mosh is about half, well, he was half health, but he's been kept alive here with Revs and Elim doing a good job on the heals. The sound barrier is going to be popped by Reps here for Tempo Storm, and the Self-Destruct's going to be thrown up in the air by Project, who gets a double kill here. The whole hog's going to come out from Spoons, pushing Termo up on the right-hand side, keeping him out of the fight. He's going to take his life in the process, as Money's the only one near the cart. He's forced away with the Tactical Visor from Wuvo. So this is all Ancient Templar now. It's their game to win. The Maywall's going to come up from Mosh, allowing him to get on top of the cart. Hits the Cryo Freeze, though. Sparky's eyeing him off. He charges a little bit too early on top of him. The Zaya Shield's going to come out from Termo, keeping Mosh alive. So all the Tempo Storm members are now back on top of the point. Sparky's life's going to be taken out, and it's just a few members left for Ancient Templar, who look to finish the fight.
Yeah, they're getting close here, but Tails able to take out Wuvo in that fight, who was quite far up. He gets caught out at the front there, so losing that DPS, they really need him to sit at the back there. He's going way too far up. He did have that Tactical Visor Nano Boost, but just in the end, if he didn't get those... Sorry, he didn't have the Nano Boost, actually, but he had the Tactical Visor. He did get picks in the back line of Tempo Storm, but he really needs to fall back behind those tanks who are trying to give him some space, and then get more value out instead of getting picked off by Tails, who just ended up winning that 1v1.
Last fight of the game here in Numbani for the offensive push of Ancient Templar, who's just only got a Nano Boost. They do have the sound barrier and self-destruct coming up pretty soon here, but Wuvo's trying to do a good job to get that Tactical Visor off, which you could imagine that's what they need to finish the fight, but they're on inside the Graviton Surge from Termo, and they've done a good job to stay alive here with Spoons picking up a double kill. The sound barrier has been popped now for Ancient Templar as they finish off Money. The cast pushing on here, Doctor. Man, can they finish it?
Yep, they're going to make it right now. That was a really well done by Ancient Templar. A bit unfortunate there for Tempo Storm, really, that actually that Graviton Surge was big ultimate that they had to win that fight for them, but it didn't get anything, and then Tempo Storm played way too aggressive, got caught out by the Earth Shatter and Sparky that came up just in time, and from there they just got absolutely wiped by that combo that came out from Ancient Templar at the end there.
Good job from Ancient Templar to finish it. They were quite quick with the first checkpoint and the second, but it was Tempo Storm who had a great defense coming into the third checkpoint on Numbani. They had to fight for about 5 minutes plus on one checkpoint.